Whether you call them scones or scones, it doesn't really matter because of course they always taste great. Perfect with a hot cup of tea, some clotted cream and some jam. What's better on a summer's afternoon? So very simply, we need some self-raising flour and we need some chilled butter straight from the fridge. And what we want to do is just pressing the flour into the butter until it looks like fine breadcrumbs. And of course you could make this in the machine, but it's one of those old-time traditions that you should make scones or scones by hand, just like your nana used to tell you. And by doing it from quite a height, of course we're adding air into there to make our scones really lovely and light. And you'll see that I'm only using fingertips and my thumbs, not using the palms of my hands. So you can see now that our mixture has started to look like that fine breadcrumb texture I was talking about. Okay, now what we need to do is to add in our sugar, and we'll just mix all that together. And now we need to add our milk. Now, I'm not going to add all this milk because you can always add more, but you can't take it away. The reason being is because all flours are going to be a little bit different. And taking our knife, we can just start to bring in some of our dry mix into our flour and butter, and that then starts to come together into your dough. So when you can see that it starts to get into a kind of dough consistency, we can then start to get our hands in there and get everything together. And just work all that through. Okay, then is we need to dust our table with flour, and we just need to knead the dough just for a little bit. The more we knead it, the less our scones are going to rise. And of course we want beautifully risen scones. So I'm just folding the dough onto itself until it starts to crack, which is what you're looking for just here. At this point, we can then start to roll our scones out to about that thickness. That's what you're looking for, because of course these are going to double in size. Then we're taking just a nice plain cutter. Now you could use a fluted cutter if you want, but I think these give you the perfect little edge. So we're just going to dip our cutter in some flour. One really smooth motion. We can then lift our scone onto our baking tray. And then it's at this point that we can add our little glaze on top. Now I like to brush mine with a beaten egg and a little pinch of salt. Now it's really important at this point that you don't get any down the sides. If you get any down the sides, then the egg will kind of pull it back and it won't rise as much. And then they can go into our preheated oven and they'll rise beautifully. So our scones, they've got that lovely golden crunch on the top. Oh, they've got that lovely crust on the outside. I'm just going to transfer them to my cooling rack, just to cool ever so slightly. Of course, nothing better than hot scones straight out the oven with loads of clotted cream, loads of strawberry jam, the perfect scones.